Christmas, although I knew the Christmas spirit would be in very short supply in Jamey's world right now. He'd just been taken from the only family he knew and brought to live with a stranger. "He's wearing a nappy," I said to Shannon. "Is he not toilet trained yet?" Jamey was 2.5 years old, an age when a lot of children are using the toilet or a potty, so it was something I needed to know. "No," Shannon confirmed. "His aunt has packed some nappies and clothes, but you will need to buy some more." "Okay." The bag they'd arrived with was in the hall. "There is a security blanket in there too, but it needs a wash," Shannon's colleague Nathan said. "I wonder if it would help Jamey if you had it now," I said, thinking aloud. "I'll get it," Nathan replied, standing. He left the living room and reappeared a few moments later carrying not so much a blanket as a grubby piece of cloth that might have once been white but was now grey and chewed around the edges. However, as I gave it to Jamey, he pushed it to his face and, eyes screwed shut, began sucking on one corner. The smell and texture would be familiar to him, and no matter how disgusting it might appear to me, it gave him some comfort. I would wash it in time. As we talked about Jamey, I asked Shannon if he was allergic to anything or taking any medication. She said as far as they knew he wasn't. She completed the paperwork that allowed me to foster Jamey and then said she'd have a look around the house before they went. It's usual for the child social worker to check the foster carer's home when they place a child, and also at most subsequent visits. "I'll phone you with the time of contact tomorrow," she added. "It'll be at the family centre. You know where that is?" "Yes." "Would you like to see the house too?" I asked Jamey, as Shannon and Nathan stood. He kept his eyes closed and the rag in his mouth and shook his head, so I stayed with him in the living room while the social workers looked around the house. "It's going to be all right, love," I told Jamey quietly as I cuddled him. His eyes remained tightly shut. I heard the social workers go upstairs, in and out of the bedrooms and the bathroom, then come down again. They reappeared in the living room. "There is just you and your daughter living here?" Shannon asked. "Yes, I've been divorced for many years." She nodded. "Which bedroom will Jamey be in?" "The one next to mine," I replied. "There is a single bed already made up, or do you want him to use a cot?" "Jamey is used to a cot," Nathan said. "Too much so," Shannon commented. "He was left in it day and night. He might be better in a bed." "I'll try him in the bed and see how he goes," I said. "Won't he fall out if he's not used to it?" Nathan asked. "I'll put cushions along the floor around the bed," I said. "It's what I usually do when a child first starts sleeping in a bed." They seemed satisfied with this and began gathering together their belongings, coats, laptops and briefcases. "We're going now," Shannon told Jamey, coming over to where I was sitting with him on my lap. He didn't open his eyes or acknowledge her, so she and Nathan said goodbye and saw themselves out. I stayed on the sofa cradling Jamey. He seemed so small and fragile. I was used to having Emma, my granddaughter, on my lap, and although she was a year younger, she felt far sturdier and more robust than Jamey. Also, if I'm honest, he smelt as if he needed a bath, but I'd see to that when he felt a bit better. The Christmas garland stirred slightly in the warm air rising from the radiator, but the rest of the house was quiet and still. I held Jamey for a few moments longer and then said, "I wonder what Father Christmas will bring you." I would need to go into town tomorrow to buy some more presents for him, as well as nappies. I'd already bought a few general presents in case a child arrived just before Christmas, but now I could buy more specifically for him. Jamey didn't respond to my comment about Father Christmas, which was hardly surprising. He was still very anxious, so I stayed where I was, my arms around him, and continued talking to him quietly. "I'm Kathy. I'm a foster carer, and I'm going to look after you for a while. I live here with my daughter, Paula. She's an adult and is at work. You'll meet her later today. There's just us and our cat, Sammy, but he's in the garden." I'd heard him shoot out of the cat flap on the back door in the kitchen as soon as the social workers had arrived. I also have a grown-up son, Adrian, who is married to Kirsty. They live in their own flat. You'll meet them